So real big shout out to Dave Chapelle once again. Came through and really just blessed everybody with some fucking gems. So he dropped this little stand up, if you want to call it that, a video, 20 minutes on
Unforgiven?
Instagram, Unforgiven. On Instagram, was it 2 days ago now?
Yesterday, I think.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
It is freaking crazy. But he basically addressed his whole come up in a in a sense. He started out, I was 14, was incredible, and then kind of hit some not roadblocks, but he kind of just hit some points throughout his career that he really wanted to highlight it. So another one when he was 18, 20 when he was broke, but had a fine ass chick from Dominican chick come to the crib or something like that. But anyway, so overall he was basically, the whole premise was that he's not getting paid for Chappelle Show. So he feels like we should boycott Chappelle Show being streamed on any services. He has a great relationship with Netflix, and he was able to ask them to take it down, and they did, which is incredible,
And then the whole HBO thing was crazy too.
Yeah, so like,
because he approached them first.
Yep, go ahead.
Like before he approached Comedy Central, he approached HBO about the Chappelle Show, and they pretty much hit him with the, "Why do we need you?" Right? Yeah. Because at the time HBO was on top, and then all of a sudden Chappelle Show blows up, and then all of a sudden now HBO Max is streaming the Chappelle Show 20 years later, and Chappelle is who he is, and he can tell people to boycott him. Because as I'm watching and he said it, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna boycott this, because this whole the likeness thing in 1999, nobody knew what that was. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you signed in the contract, you didn't think about, it's gonna be streaming services. You didn't think about, you signed the contract. All of a sudden now, your face is all over the place. You're not getting a dime for it. Mm-hmm. But it's so crazy because it hasn't only happened to Chappelle. We've seen it with NWA. Remember Ice Cube, when Ice Cube walked in the office with the baseball bat? TLC, New Edition, and that's just music wise. Yeah. So it's one of them things where with us, like the industry, you want to be involved in the industry, but do you really want to deal with the shadiness of the industry?
Well, even past that, we haven't had NCAA football games since 2013 because they were using all the likeness from the players and stuff, and then the one guy put the lawsuit in that shut everything down because he was like, "Y'all put me in the game. Yeah, everybody's buying this for $55. I haven't seen one penny
no
of
money.
It. No money.
I got like a $700 check.
You did?
Yeah, I was in 2K, whatever it was.
Well, if you go to video games and stuff like that, across the board, you can go to any sport. You can see like some of the biggest stars weren't even in some of those games. Yep. Jordan was never in live.
Charles Barkley.
Barry Bonds was never in any of the baseball games. Stuff like that. So I want my money too. Out of respect. So if you're not gonna pay me, don't use me.
Don't use it. Yep.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Master P when he was on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Where he talked about starting No Limit. So like they came in, they wanted to sign him a deal for $1 million, and he was like, "Well, if they're trying to pay me $1 million, how much money are they going to make off of me?" So he just went independent. And now with like YouTube, you can start streaming your own content. I think the Baby was independent for a while. Maybe he signed now, but a lot of artists, they're just independent. You blow up on YouTube. Then when you get popping on your own, you can put the deal in your own terms, right? You can get your shine first. Yeah, own all your shit. I own all of mine.
I think that's what
Migos did that too.
I mean, it's hard because especially when because you want that check, you know what I'm saying? So it's hard, especially when you're coming from that situation. If we go into like artists, like rappers and things like that, they're coming from like a real poverty-stricken situation, and that $1 million sounds amazing. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to tell somebody that straight up, like, man, don't even take that meal, even though it's off the bat. Like, you got to work a little bit longer. Then that $1 million is what that shit's gonna be a cakewalk to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be bare minimum in a sense. So I understand it's hard to fathom that when you see that check.
But back to Chappelle though, you think about it.
That's what he's doing.
We was watching the show, and this guy was not getting paid. The entire time, the whole world was watching this show, just weekly climbing charts, breaking records, and you thinking this man is on top of the world. Because remember, everybody's like, he went to Africa, he's getting paid way too much money. Chappelle he doesn't have to do anything for the rest of his life. And also now you going, hold on, this entire time this man didn't get a dime.
And I don't, you know me, I'm like the last person to make it about color for the most part, but Seinfeld's still getting paid for every single episode. He's been getting paid for 3 decades. What's the difference between like his deal?
Isn't Will Smith? with Fresh Prince too.
Does Will still own the rights to his too?
He has to.
Does he? He gets residuals.
I don't know, but
I know
he
all the people in Friends get they still get checks to this day. Seinfeld, they still get checks to this day.
Yeah, Gatorade.
Charlie Sheen.
Big Bang Theory, those shows like that, they get checks still to this day.
No, I think it's dope. I think it's enough. I think we talked about this before with the Joe Budden thing. It's kind of just like you said earlier. Like you want to own your own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I know it's gonna be hard, but as much as you can, own that shit and put people like you on. Because a lot of the time, or majority of the time, we don't see people like us sitting in those chairs, those executive chairs. And I think that's a big part of it. Like we said last week, like they use our culture, they use us, they use the way we talk, they use everything about us to make money off of us. You know what I'm saying? Build everything off of our backs. But we never do that shit for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's rare that we do it for ourselves. So I think that's the main premise of Chappelle's thing. Obviously, he wanted to get his voice out there and let everybody know what was going on. But I think the sole premise is like, all right, don't follow what I did. You can be as funny as me. Mm-hmm. You can do everything.
But you got to know your worth, though, too. You got to know what your worth is. You got to know what your value is.
Some people ain't worth shit. So
yeah, but some people are worth a lot, but they don't know that.
Yeah.